Hello there, and welcome to another episode of A Thought in Progress, subtitled I Have Something to Say. Today we're going to talk a little bit about reality. You know, um, in the movie The Matrix, I think Morpheus says to Neo, "Welcome to reality," and that really hits home for me because um, we're not promised anything. The only thing we're really promised is death. And that's a horrible way to look at it, but it's also the truth about reality. Um, and when we look at it that way, maybe we can be a little more grateful for the moments that we do have, and transform it into something positive in that way. Because a lot of bad stuff happens in life, and um, it's because of that imperfection that is rampant in life, that is indicative of life, that is inherent in life. Um, and you can look at it like, oh, well, nothing's ever going to be perfect, or you can look at it as, well, you know what? I can affect the reality around me and make it, and do enough work that makes it a little better while I'm here. That gets us a little closer to perfection, even though we'll never reach that goal. Um, And that's kind of something I've kind of realized over time. There's always two ways you can look at reality. You can always say, "Oh, woe is me," and I'll never do this, I'll never do that, and that's pessimism. And then you've got the other side of it, and this is something I'm really working on, being more optimistic and seeing all the benefits of being optimistic and embracing optimism throughout the various aspects of my life. And there have been some scientific studies done where optimism for right now we have the virus epidemic going on, the pandemic going on, and when we look at that, you can say optimism boosters boo, is that the right word, boosts the immune response. It bolsters the immune response. So that's another aspect. And that's really quite strange, isn't it? It's speaking to a higher truth that we don't quite grasp, but we have kind of an understanding of. Um, and when we talk about it that way, we can talk about, belief in things going correctly, belief in my abilities to do things, belief in my capabilities, in my adherence to optimism, belief in myself. What can I accomplish? What imperfections can I overcome? Um, and when we're talking about that, we're talking about, just general problem solving and really that's what life consists of. Life presents us with problems and we can choose to look at that positively and say, you know what, now I've got some work to do. Now I'm not going to be bored. Now I got something to do. For instance, I've been working from home since mid-March. It's almost mid-May now, so that's about 2 months of working from home, which is crazy. It's absolutely horrible, really, when you think about it. A good thing about that is I've got my cat Homer as a coworker now, so I can say my coworker eats too much, throws up sometimes, and likes to lay on my stomach. So again, that's looking at some things positively, some things optimistically, having a sense of humor. The other part of it is that my problem solving skills have had to take a different turn. I've had to develop different skill sets. I've had to problem solve in bigger, more important ways as I progress down my road of recovery. And one of the things that I did was uh, I was saving all my files to my desktop, various files to my desktop, so I could easily email them to my boss. Just drag them into the email and have them attached that way. And since I was doing that, I was running out of desktop space, and and since the stay-at-home order is going to be going on till the beginning of June, June 4th now for Philly, where I live. Um, I was thinking, well, how can I get more desktop space to save more files? Because I'm going to have a whole another month of this, or at least 3 weeks of this. Um, and I problem solved. I opened my mind to greater creative possibilities, which is part of what problem solving entails. And I said, there's probably a way I can group these files into folders. So that's what I did, and it was just transformational for my workflow, for my workspace. Um, I'm going to continue to employ that in the coming weeks. Now, um, again, we're in a time of a pandemic. It's just unimaginable what's going on out there, and I'm grateful for the chance to share with everyone who watches this, and to, hopefully everybody's healthy and doing well. I know sometimes that's not the case, um, but we can worry, we can worry ourselves to death, and that's scientific fact. Worrying is worse than smoking cigarettes on your health, along with loneliness, along with every other negative thing that can happen in your mind. It's very impactful to your health. And that's what I was talking, pessimism versus optimism. Optimism also very impactful on your health in a good way. Um, so we can worry about the pandemic, we can worry about things we can't control, or we can handle and control what we can and let go of those things that we can't. Um, and that's kind of the challenge we've got right now. And hopefully out of this forest fire of bad health situations that this pandemic is, some new growth can come about. Some transformative, um, new foundation, new growth for mankind, and here in America and all across the world. My hope is that coming out of this pandemic, we'll be better connected in more positive ways with other countries, other peoples, because we'll all have sort of had this collective experience, collective negative experience that hopefully can influence us to be more positive and more inclusive with other people going forward. Now, getting back to worrying, like I was saying, you can worry yourself to death. Now, everything that happens in the human mind is there because it had a purpose at one point or a reason at one point to exist. So worry, we look at worry and we say, oh, well, what purpose does that serve? And I'll tell you what purpose it served. It helped us plan for negative happenings, negative potential happenings. So if we build a house by the river, yeah, we'll have a source of water and everything. We've got a house on the river. And one day we might realize, you know what? This river, and maybe it rained a lot, and suddenly you're like, well, um, this river could flood. I could lose my house. So that's where the worry comes in. Now, what do you do with that? You plan. You move your house to the top of the hill. And that's still not too far away from the river, so you keep your water source. And these are not my words. This is not my example. I got this from a training that I did recently um, that really helped me get a handle on some of my own issues. So basically, we are the descendants of the worrying people. Those that didn't worry would have got their house flooded away and lost their lives and everything, you know. So we descend from the people who worried. We descend from the people who had anxiety issues lots of times, you know. So that anxiety and that worry got preserved in the human evolution over time. Um, but worrying can be a good thing. It can help you plan. Now, once you've made the plan, the idea, and it's hard to get to this point, but the idea is to stop worrying. What happens is people get in this cycle where they worry and then they plan and then they go back to worrying. And they might plan some more and then they go back to worrying. And that's not going to lead anywhere. It's circular. It's not it's not going to work for anything. It's only going to drive you mad. It's only going to drive you insane. So, can we worry, plan, and then let it go. And that's the key right there. Okay? Um, so the key takeaways. Don't be too serious with yourself or with life. Try and see everything from a positive standpoint. Try and smile as much as you can. Smiling is great for your physical health. It's great for your mental health. Smile even when you don't have anything to smile about. You don't know what you're smiling about. Go ahead and smile anyway. It does amazing things for the mood. Um, you know, and remember that we're not promised anything. So let's be grateful for what we have. Let's lift up the heroes out there, the essential workers, the heroes out there who are seeing this on the front lines of life and death and doing something positive about it. They are the people that need our support right now, and it's taking a toll on their mental health too. So reach out if you can, thank someone, um, and just be mindful of that because the essential workers are preserving the miracle of life for the rest of us. Okay, so we're gonna end there. Shameless plug, buy my book, 99 cents a piece. Um, I'm working on the third installment. We'll have a paperback out within a good period of time. Thank you for watching.